What's up, guys? I'm doing another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In today's video, we're going to be going over what is coming to Black Ops 4 in this next week and in the near future, as well as a brand new loot stream that's available with that brand new pistol that we talked about yesterday in that video. And then we also have information about concussions in Blackout. And then lastly, we have more information about gauntlets and how Treyarch is going to be expanding that into the next few zombies maps as well. So first off, let's start out with talking about today's game settings update and what Treyarch has planned for this next week in the not too distant future. So this is what is new with the latest game settings update for Black Ops 4 on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So on PlayStation 4, a new special loot stream is available, and it features the return of the KAP 45 weapon, and we'll talk about that in a second. But this new game settings update brought a new featured playlist for multiplayer, and that's Chaos Domination. And alongside that, Team Tactical Mosh Pit has returned. So Chaos Domination features capture time per objective has been reduced down to 3 seconds. The score limit has been increased to 150, and the score win limit has been increased to 300. So it's a bit longer than the normal domination is, and you can capture objectives really quickly. So it really is just like a lot of chaos and stuff too. So Treyarch says that they've also now added the Black Ops Pass maps to all playlists in Black Ops 4, and they had removed them last week because of an issue that was discovered, but now players who own the Black Ops Pass can now play any of these new maps that came out in December in every single playlist. So you don't have to go specifically into any specific playlist to play these maps. You can play them in any playlist. They'll show up in the rotation. Treyarch says, in regards to this new update, we're stacking up the loot with a new 4-week special event stream in the black market. Launching today on PlayStation 4, the Barbarians event adds 25 new loot tiers below the existing Operation Absolute Zero stream, so players can earn twice as much loot per tier as usual. Unlockable rewards include new outfits, gestures, calling cards, and a new reactive camo for the Hades LMG, and our newest earnable weapon, the KAP 45 fully auto pistol. Our multiplayer featured playlist section is refreshed today with Chaos Domination taking the top spot, along with Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Capture Mosh Pit in the featured category. We've also added Elevation and Madagascar back to rotation for Black Ops Pass holders in Standard and Hardcore playlists. And in Zombies, Gauntlets and new elixirs are available today on Xbox One and PC. Players can take on 30 timed rounds of insane challenges in Unsinkable and last even longer against the undead with the new Perk Up, Refreshment, and Conflagration Liquidation elixirs. They also say, as our free trial for Blackout continues on all platforms, Down But Not Out kicks off on Xbox One and PC tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Get ready to jump in as a squad and redeploy with each new collapse as long as one of your teammates survives. We've also implemented new fixes for the looting interface on consoles to help players tab through stashes, prevent the D-pad from getting stuck while scrolling through stashes. And that's awesome. So all the little details about this is that the Barbarian special event stream is live in the black market, featuring the KAP 45. Gauntlets and new epic elixirs are available in Zombies on Xbox One and PC. Chaos Domination has been added as a featured multiplayer playlist. Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit and Mercenary Capture Mosh Pit are all added to the multiplayer featured category. Elevation and Madagascar are back in the multiplayer map rotation for Black Ops Pass holders. The stash looting interface, there's fixes for that in Blackout on consoles. And there's various improvements and crash fixes in multiplayer Blackout and Zombies. So for multiplayer, like I said, the feature playlist, we have Chaos Domination with a 3-second capture time, and the round score limit has been increased from a 100 to 150, and then the game score limit is 200 to 300, and it is 6v6. And then Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Capture Mosh Pit are added to the featured category. Elevation and Madagascar are added back to the regular core and hardcore map rotation for Black Ops Pass holders. For the specialists, they resolved an issue with Crash, with players being unable to obtain ammo from Crash's assault pack after dying. They did a bunch of stability Crash fixes, and they closed an exploit that allowed players to get a full equipment charge by switching classes. In Zombies, they fixed a crash that could occur when the player had Mule Kick from using the Perk Up elixir when completing round 14 in Unsinkable. They closed exploits that allow players to jump in various exploitable areas. on PlayStation 4, the special event, the Barbarian special event, has been added to the black market. They have 25 new tiers of loot to earn available in the special event stream below the existing Operation Absolute Zero stream. And the rewards now include new outfits, gestures, calling cards, reactive camos, and the KAP 45 fully auto pistol. On Xbox One and PC, Gauntlets are now live, as well as the new elixirs. So Gauntlets are 30 rounds of challenges with unique rules for each round, and the new elixirs are Perk Up, Refreshment, and Conflagration Liquidation, all of which are epic elixirs. And then lastly, on PS4 and on Xbox One, the looting interface has been changed up a little bit, so they address issues where players could lose the ability to use the directional pad to scroll to items until closing and reopening a stash. They address issues where players could lose the ability to change tabs after picking up items from a stash. And they also fixed rare crashes that could occur when interacting with items in stashes. So next up, let's talk about this new Barbarian Special Loot Stream event for Black Ops 4. So we talked about it a little bit before, but this new special event stream is live in the black market on PlayStation 4 right now. It'll be coming next week on Xbox and PC. But this new loot stream features the KAP 45, so this is really, really cool. And it will be available for the next 27 days for PS4 players, and of course it'll be, you know, for 27 days on for Xbox and PC players. So we get it for the exact same amount of time. It's just that PlayStation 4 gets it a week earlier, but will end a week earlier. So the KAP 45 is the final weapon that you unlock in this loot stream. So if you guys want to play with the KAP 45 today, you can go ahead and you can buy 20 tiers of these reserves and stuff, and 20 tiers of this in order to get the KAP 45 right now, or you can just, you know, spend the next 27 days getting, you know, your daily tier skip as well as ranking up a little bit, and of course you're gonna get there. So it's up to you. You can spend money and get it today, or you can just, you know, grind out the black market with these tiers and eventually get it. And it also stacks with your Operation Absolute Zero. So if you're trying to, you know, get to tier 100 by the time Operation Absolute Zero ends, this is, you know, it's gonna go along with it. It doesn't mean that this is after, it just goes along with it. They both work together. So yeah, it's really cool. There is new skins. There's a new skin for Crash, a new reactive camo for the Hades, and the KAP 45 pistol. So that's really cool. I can't wait to see how this thing actually is in game. It was leaked earlier this week, and I made a video about that yesterday. If you guys haven't seen that, you guys should totally go and check that out. But then next, let's talk about concussions in Blackout. So Treyarch says that they have no plans currently to remove concussion grenades in Blackout, and they're still evaluating how to adjust it. So first off, I just want to point out that first off, 9 bangs were removed from Blackout months ago, and that was Treyarch's kind of first change to Blackout, was removing the 9 bangs. And then ever since then, concussion grenades have kind of taken their spot. Concussion grenades aren't as bad, but they're still frustrating nonetheless, because unless you have a trophy system or the reinforced perk, you're basically screwed, and a lot of players believe that they're overpowered since you basically become blind, you can't like lay down, and you're basically, you know, totally vulnerable while you're flashed, and it's an easy kill. So Treyarch Studio Design Director talked about this on Reddit. So Vahn said, "They are all or nothing, so the attacker understands if he is concussed someone or not. If it was a variable length based on a variable input of distance or attack angle or anything else that could not easily be determined, tossed say over a small hill or around a corner, etc., it would be unclear to the attacker if he was concussed someone or not, and for how long." He says, "I'm not arguing for or against a variable input option onto the duration. That might work. That might/will cause other problems. We are debating the best way forward with concussions amongst many others. I'm simply answering a question in a literal sense." He says the answer is the readability of the gameplay impact of concussing someone for both the attacker and the victim. This may not be the right length of time or any number of things, but you know exactly how long you concuss someone / how long you will be concussed. So, I mean, that's interesting that he talked about that. That'd be kind of interesting if they did change that. So depending on how close you were, or, you know, if it bounced around a corner or something like that, if it lasts for a specific like variable amount of time, that'd be very interesting. But Treyarch says that right now they're only, you know, they're keeping it this way because they want you to know how long you're going to be concussed or how long you are concussing someone. He says that they have no plans to remove them from the game. He says tuning them, the AoE, the duration, is one option amongst many other under evaluation. He says, "Let me be super honest with you. This is always a slippery slope, so you walk it carefully. You already have 2 counters with the trophy system and the reinforced perk. You can also carry your own and concuss the attacker. This does not invalidate anybody's opinion or perspective. I have a saying, you cannot argue with how someone feels, so I don't. You feel how you feel. I respect it. If I didn't, I wouldn't post about it. He says, we must reinforce any major tuning position with actual game data and our own perspective. If it turns out the majority of victories were created because of a concussion grenade, the reinforced perk is spawning less than it should, the average KD of concussion grenade players is above the trend line, or any number of data science-backed evidence of the OP level, they will get nerfed some more. It's safe to say we are looking at it and talking it over. So that's really, really interesting. Another user talked about this on Reddit and followed up asking why the counters are not more effective and completely like blocking the concussion. So like how the reinforced perk isn't, you know, a full counter to it. When you still, even if you have the reinforced perk and you get hit with a concussion, you're still going to get stunned to some extent. It's not going to be as if you never got stunned in the first place. But Vahn responded to this, and he said that hard counters invalid both pieces of gameplay content. If you can fully counter something, you stop taking the thing that can be fully countered, and then you stop taking the counter. The gameplay type and the style then ends up getting invalidated entirely over time and removes depth from the game. He says, I personally don't like that because I personally believe that the game is much richer with more than just straight gunplay. He also added a remark in his reply about how he understands that fans are asking for some adjustment, and he says that as to your note above about it not being able to fight back, please understand that I totally get it. We just haven't decided what we're going to do about that yet. So Vahn isn't saying that concussions are going to stay this way forever. He's just saying that Treyarch is, you know, is thinking about what they can do, and that they are considering a lot of different factors as what they can do with concussions and counters and stuff, and then it might not be just as cut and dry as removing concussions or making it so reinforced completely blocks concussions. They're looking for more of a, you know, kind of an intermediate approach to this. That way it kind of suits their vision and plays the best for Blackout. And now lastly for this video, let's talk about the future gauntlets that are going to be coming to Black Ops 4 Zombies. So the names of all the future gauntlets have started appearing on Xbox One when Xbox One got the update today. So I actually came across this myself for 5. The gauntlet for 5 is called DEFCON 5, and of course we don't know what the challenges and stuff are going to be specifically for this, but we know with gauntlets, you know, there's 3 different medals. There's one for everybody in round 10, 20, and 30, and there's various challenges through it, and yeah, but we also now know what the challenge is and what they're going to be called for all the other maps. So of course we know that the one for Voyage of Despair is called Unsinkable, but the one for 9 is called Vini Vidi Zombie. For Blood of the Dead, it's called Helcatraz, and for Classified, it's called DEFCON 5. So really awesome. Since the names are already in the game, I would expect that maybe within the next update for Black Ops 4, we're going to be actually getting these new gauntlets added into Black Ops 4 Zombies. We don't have one for Dead of the Night, which I think is interesting, is that we're only seeing these for the base Black Ops 4 Zombies maps, so for the initial 3 that came with the game, and then with Classified, since that was a bonus for the Black Ops Pass. We haven't seen any for Dead of the Night just yet, so I would assume that Dead of the Night might come with DLC 2, which is going to be apparently set in Greece, as well as Nuketown. I made a video about that. If you guys haven't checked that out, you guys can do so on screen. But I would assume that within the next couple weeks, within the next 2 weeks, Treyarch is most likely going to unveil these next 3 and let you play gauntlets on these next ones. But I'm assuming the reason that they didn't put them out today or, you know, recently is just so that way Xbox and PC players can play these gauntlets at the same time that, you know, PS4 is playing, and then maybe next week PlayStation 4 is going to get these new gauntlets, and the week after Xbox will get them as well. So that's really cool and really awesome. That was a lot of Black Ops 4 news and stuff today. Make sure you guys subscribe for any more Black Ops 4 news and information and leaks and all this sort of stuff. And then you guys' thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys right back here tomorrow.